Today we're spending time with the Motorola Droid 2 for Verizon Wireless, and from the outset this phone looks very similar to the original Droid, but there are a few key upgrades with this model that are definitely worth looking into. Under the hood, Motorola put a 1 GHz TI processor in and boosted the RAM up to 512 megabytes. The Droid 2 also has 8 gigabytes of NAND built-in flash memory, and it has a micro SD card slot that can house up to 32 gigabytes, so combined that's 40 gigabytes of storage. Another key thing about the Motorola Droid 2 is that it runs Android 2.2, offering improved speed and enhanced navigation and interface. And remember the original Droid's small slide-out QWERTY keyboard? Well, the Droid 2 got rid of the directional pad on the right side of the keyboard and stretched the entire keyboard to encompass the whole panel. So it was easier to type on this, though we did prefer the Samsung Epic 4G's slide-out QWERTY keyboard. The Droid 2's camera is unchanged as well. It's a 5 megapixel with dual LED flash, and the only difference is that it records 720 by 480 video at 30 frames per second, while the original Droid recorded 24 frames per second. Image quality from this phone in still and video was mediocre. A lot of images were pelted with noise. Low light was very difficult for this camera if you didn't use the dual LED flash. And the camera also had white balance ADD, meaning it changed the color temperature every other second. Thanks to 2.2, the gallery is revamped and we can slide through thumbnails of images. But here's one caveat about camera mode. We were filming a video and all of a sudden the camera just froze and we had to take the battery out and restart the phone, and the video was lost. Also, we've started the gallery before and we've had to go back to the home screen because the phone was frozen. So we don't know if that's just characteristic of our review unit, but we think that's something that, you might have to keep an eye out for. But as far as the general performance of this phone, it is notably faster. The battery life is improved. We actually tested it side by side with the Samsung Epic 4G, and it outlasted the phone easily. One of the great things about Flash 10.1 is that we can now watch videos in the browser. We don't have to be directed to YouTube. We can just tap them and play them right in our web pages. Other benefits of Android 2.2 include advanced exchange integration, and we also get Wi-Fi hotspots up to 8 devices. We have voice dialing over Bluetooth and laptop tethering. As far as the screen goes, it's a 3.7-inch FWVGA, meaning full wide video graphics array. And we'd put it on par with Apple's Retina display. It's very impressive. It's not a super ammo LED screen like the Samsung Epic 4G, but it's very, very difficult to discern any pixels on this screen. Of course, being an Android phone, we had access to all of Google's goodies. Google Voice Search, we had corporate messaging, mail. So this phone is very Google friendly. We also had the Android Market, social networking hubs, the fully customizable home screens with the ability to tap on an icon and drag it anywhere you want pretty much. So the Android experience is definitely still top-notch. Voice quality was good, but it fell just under the iPhone and the Samsung Galaxy S phones. We did catch some static and a little background noise occasionally in situations where the iPhone and the Captivate or the Vibrant did not pick up those sounds. So is the Droid 2 worth it? We would say if you don't have a Droid now and you want one, and you're not sure which one to get the Droid 2. It covers most bases. If you want a multimedia powerhouse, get the Droid X. But if you're happy with your Droid now, then upgrade to Android 2.2 and you'll be even happier. If you're not bound to a carrier, look at the Samsung Epic 4G, look at the iPhone 4. Also, if you don't care about a QWERTY keyboard, then look at the HTC Droid Incredible. That's for Verizon as well. but the Droid 2 is up there with some of the best smartphones on the market. It is $300 with a 2-year contract, and you get a $100 mail-in rebate. For InfoSync World, I'm Mike Perlman.